Yes, Honor.
Thank you for according me this opportunity to speak once more. My question will still go to Madam Principal. From your explanation, I have heard you giving a lot of strategies that you, as an institution, really do to motivate students that maybe were forced into the vocational and technical skills training. Now my question is, I am wondering why you should go all that far to Mzuzu, not Paris, you should go to Kapivitende. Don't we have living examples from your own members of staff? Maybe I don't know what you call them here, the instructors of the different courses that you offer here. Why can't you pick your students and go with them to your own facilitators of different courses that you provide here, so that the students can appreciate from the work of their own instructors? Because in English we say sometimes you follow the leader, seeing is believing. From what the members of staff are able to do, and the students also benefit and appreciate their work. Because sometimes I wonder, we have also seen some students graduating from here. We expect them to perform as they have graduated. Unfortunately, when they go out there, they are employed very contrary to the vocational and the training that they received here. So we wonder to say, is it really beneficial? Is it really practical? Or is it just an institution for you to make money because of the school fees? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for that extended question. I will start my response from the end of your statement. Miracle is not here to make profits. Miracle is not a profit-making organization. And we give in more into the training than what we get from the students. Our fees are highly subsidized because, as you understand, our expertise are limited, and we would want to have our students to have a broader understanding of the trade that they're venturing into. For example, I would mention of our people in the food production. In food production, we have expertise in front office services, we have expertise in the culinary arts, we have expertise in the restaurant sciences as well. Now, if we only confine our students to being very much attached to what their instructors are able to do, we will be denying them some very important opportunities. Hence the need for us to take them out. We will take them to Mikoma, but you would also compare and agree with me that Mikoma is not as good as Grand Paris is. And when we are graduating our students, we want them to go out there and really be competitive at the industry. Hence, giving them opportunities to look at various industries in their field, and then as they do that, they also find their space where they can fit in and where they can advance in their careers. So yes, we have the best, but we understand there are people that are also beating us out there, and we give out our students that they can be open to the world and do even better than our instructors. And having mentioned that, I would like to say we have, for example, one instructor in electrical installation who has his own company that is electrical and engineering, Buchizia, Mr. Menard. Whenever he gets contracts out there, he does not work alone. He works with the students from Milagro Technical Institute. So that should be able to respond to your question, to say, when we do that, when we go out, it's not that we cannot offer the best. We would want to give a lot of windows openings to our students that they can make their better choices and that they can even add up to the knowledge that are already acquired from within. Even if, when we talk of the training equipment or training machines that we have as an institution, it does not match with some of the training equipment that we have outside there at the industry. So when we take them out, it's not just for enjoyment. We went out for an educational visit, it was an educational tour or what. Well, we do that to do some modules as well. For example, in the food production sector, we'll take the students out. Like the time we had them at the Grand Palace, we had to go as far as Nkarabe, so that they also practice a particular module in the camping. So we give them life experiences as well as to fit what is all to be captured in their curriculum. That's why we go out. Otherwise, we can do everything within, but that would not be sufficient enough for our students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I was asked the question, what kind of strategies that were put in place from the training that we were given to the communities. Let me answer it in this way. From the diocese perspective, from history side, when we were providing this technical support, what we usually do was be in partnership with the better, provide professional skills, just the technical knowledge at first. That's what we are doing. We go to the community, work with the better, if the instructors help, like teach on the method briefing and everything. Once everything was done, we are coming out. But after some time, we realized that I think just giving skill set was not really the work. Because we end up after the trainings, everybody will go home. If someone might have been able to find a machine there, maybe for tailoring, to tailor their thing, they will continue. But those who do not afford, were failing. So we had to sit down from the office, like, this is the situation that we are in, so what should we do? So we changed the way we write programs, like programs for technical skills. So we make sure that when we are going to the community, we have identified these students to be our students. We make sure that minus the certificate that they will get, the machinery has to be there so that they can continue. So there are always periodic tracer surveys that we conduct through the department, just to check on what these people are doing and how are they progressing. So we have really realized that once we train them and we leave them with the equipment that they need to start with, like startup capital, not money, but the machines, that brings a better way. For example, I will give an example for those that are doing bricklaying projects. We will have maybe construction projects in the same site of the diocese, right? So, despite those people learning from the class that they are doing, we could expose them to the same construction sites for the diocese, which they are professional builders there. There's a contractor there. So, they should go there and get exposed there. Because as we always say, that business is not only about the skill set that you have, but you need to look at the broader view. So, for example, you have been taught in bricklaying, but through the same process, they say there's a contractor building a school for the diocese. I think I will give an example that happened in Chisamba is the Chikeka area, where we are building a school and a hospital there. And at the same community, which is very far, we are also training people in bricklaying. So once they learn there, those people, those instructors will take those youth and go to the site where they see how they are working. So there it gives you an opportunity where to check not just the bricklaying part, but to see how the project can be handled in the broader view, right? So my main essence that I wanted to provide that the key strategy now, when you are writing projects, when you want to support the youth, it's really our wish that with the intervention that we are pushing, at the end of the day, these people are given the startup capital. The startup capital that we are talking about is not money, but the machinery. So we are training people in return, you leave out the machinery. But it is a challenge because there are some other training, like training trades, which are startup capital might be a bit easier. For example, bricklaying, just using a material and everything. It's much a bit easy. So, for example, you have 10 students in tailoring, but every tailor needs a machine. It means because even us, we have limited number of people, even that we have to reach there. But at the diocese, we are trying our best. We write as many projects as we can, but this part of giving out startup is our key thing, because we have seen that giving knowledge alone has already proved it. Where you go to that. Why so far about that? So it has been a challenge, even for us, especially for trades that require big capital, especially tailoring, But some other trades like bricklaying, they're paid like almost like this. So I think that's how she responded. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now I think we have discussions will end it here. At this time, let us give a round of applause for our panel. Yes, Anna.
Besides you are ending up here, I want to do something for this, for the ends. My point, I heard the principal for Miracle Technical Institute saying they give career guidance to secondary schools. So my question would be, why limited to secondary schools? And in my opinion, I would still say primary schools are seedbed for successful vocational and technical entrepreneurships. So why just limited to secondary schools? Can you consider extending to primary schools these career guidance? Thank you, Madam Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. That's a very good question as to why are we not going as far as reaching out to the primary schools, because it is from primary where people go to secondary, and from secondary they will come to institutions like the Technical Institute. Yes, it is very important that we go and do our career guidance to the primary schools, but currently what we are pushing for is inclusion of some artwork or some trades work into the curriculum, educational curriculum, from primary as well as secondary. So once that is done, then we'll be geared towards doing our career talks even in primary schools. If I had people of my age in this house, I would have asked my friends to recall what we used to do during our primary schools, because there were a lot of artwork that we would do in primary school. The same would happen even at secondary school. We had secondary schools like Chitipa Secondary School, Simba Secondary School, doing some woodwork. Even Shaminadi here was doing some woodwork as well. But as time went on, those things were stripped off from the curriculum. And now the TVET sector is in talks with the educational sector that those things should be brought back into the curriculum so that we don't even struggle when we are enrolling students at the TVET sector. Currently, I would mention in this house that the TVET sector has got a lot of spaces to enroll the students, but we do not fill all those spaces. We have training equipment, but it is idle because the youth are not enrolling. And we feel those gaps can be filled if we indeed start our curriculum from the primary to secondary, and then those that are advancing in some trades would opt to continue the very same at the tertiary level. Thank you. We are getting there.
Thank you very much for that. And now let me allow the panel to take their seats. Amongst us, we have been joined by other guests, other invited guests. So I would like to call these guests to give us a few minutes of the time to talk to us. Let me firstly call Group Village. I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher this name. Mwakifwamba. Group Village Mwakifwamba, please come and talk to us.
month, with my colleague, Mr. Senior Division Mangani, we are very happy, and it's the first time to attend this type of meeting. And we know you, the technical director of Miracle, you have done a lot of hours on it, and we are doing a very big development in our villages. So we have only the one thing which we want to remind you, you can help us. We have a mission of settlement. Our students which have been sent here, once they have done their technical skills, they are failing to do their job because the equipment, they don't have equipment. It's better for you when you are enrolling students here, when they are paying school fees, technical school fees. You have to add some amount of money. Now the weight of Zinadura is everywhere in Malawi. It's better for that to pay a lot of money for them to buy a working machine like a sewing machine, electricity machine. They are failing to do waste because of that thing. So I'm asking you, the technical manager, please, when you are doing your budget or when you are enrolling this student, please involve this thing without talking. Thank you very much.
The principal from Miracle Technic would like to respond to the Glenship's remarks. Can you have a mic custom to the principal?
Thank you so much, Bwana Makifamba, for acknowledging the impact that Miracle has done to the community around in the provision of technical skills training. To respond to the request that has been aired out in this house, I will take you back to the time when Miracle was giving out tools and equipment to the graduates. We did that for several years, but there was a reason why we stopped, and we will not do it again. I want to respond to that in black and white. We will not do it again because we had noticed there were many people who were coming for technical schools training, just focusing at getting the tools at the end of their training programs. And because they were just focusing at the provision of the tools at the end of their training programs, they would not really master the quality of their training programs because they were focusing at the end product. And what was happening was that we graduate students here, they have already taken monies from customers waiting outside the gate. They take the machines from Miracle, outside the gate they are handing over to the customers. And they use that money to buy a bicycle to start the cargo business, the Kabaza guys in town. So we will not go back to that. We will not go back to that. What we had seen to be very beneficial was to utilize the money for the then tools to add on the provision of the training tools and equipment. So that we have better training tools and equipment, they master the tools, they master their trades, they graduate, go look for the tools and equipment to start their businesses. And in the defense sector, we have some financial institutions that are in connection with TVETA, and they sponsor the graduates to take some loans. You can talk of NIF, you can talk of the FCB, and you talk of other people who give out loans. As we're not going back to giving them the tools, we'll give them quality skills training, which will empower them and enable them get the tools by themselves. Thank you, Chief and the House.
Thank you very much, Madam Principal, for that, and thank you very much again, Village Cat. Now let me call Mr. George Shema to address you.
much. My name is Tuntufye. I work with the Karonga Investment. That's my company. The contract with Max Steel. Still Malawi Limited. We are the suppliers of Castelo products in Karonga. Do we speak to the GBH, Uganda, in the Vietnam, the Feast of Miracle, and the organizers of the session which is happening here today. Let me express my gratitude to the organizers for inviting me to come and stand before you, my fellow youth. It's not an easy thing, but I did appreciate for inviting me to come and address you. Understand the theme is joining hands to uplift youth in technical and vocational enterprise. A good theme indeed. I've seen youth graduating from Karonga Agricultural University, coming home here with theory, skills, but practically nothing. I've been thinking over it, what's happening, but I've seen that all starts with the government. They know that this time, agriculture, somebody can have skills in agriculture. The right things to use them once it's out there from the investors. That means we do nothing. Thanks. I'm here before you to speak the children, thinking how we can join hands to look for a better future. A future which is bright with technical and vocational enterprise. Technical has many definitions. As the youth, in short, we need a world which can give us technical skills which will make us safely ours. In Karonga, we have only 2 technical institutions, Miracle and Karonga. So look at the space. It's a huge space whereby representative, even from the government, representative even with the DCs, they should look into it. Because if we're not having technical institutions, that means we are killing the development of Karonga. I'm not talking of Malawi, but Karonga. There are many students who have graduated from secondary school, even primary school, because they are aware of informal education. They are there who have got the heart of attaining some skills in these institutions. But if you don't have infrastructures, that means we are killed, we are doomed. So let me argue from these guys who have mentioned, the people who have got representative in the parliament, even at this level, even TVET as well, that they should champion this. At least every constituency should have what? A technical institution. The technical skills can be acquired at a technical school, of course, and also through self-attachment to a skilled person. The last part is talking of through self-attachment to a skilled person. I've seen in our community some people attaching themselves in mechanical colleges where they have become mechanics. Let us borrow from it, my fellow youth. Let us have the heart of learning from each other. Why? As I've already mentioned, we have got a problem of technical institutions where we can learn. I'm one of the aspiring candidates in this this coming 2025 general elections, I believe in championing for the need to establish more technical institutions so that at least we should curb the problem of where we can get skills. And the other thing is, as one meeting today is another example, we need to come up with more youth sessions where we'll be sharing successful stories and the ideas as well. Through these associations or sessions, we avoid the untimely deaths which have been happening or are happening daily in our societies. Why? Because somebody is thinking too much, why? He has nowhere where he can get something or nowhere where he can have money. So if you can have these sessions now and then, that means we encourage each other. We encourage each other in all corners of our life. And that encouragement, though we are struggling, we will share, we will solve, and we will become strong. And as we are here today, learning the hard way, let's avoid fear, laziness, and shyness. But I know you don't know this time. It's through these skills that you can earn money. I've seen graduates from Chester College, that's Chapel, Mobas, all what you can mention. They're just staying because they only learn, they have got theory, but practically they don't know. So practical, that's technical skill. This is what is needed in our community. And the community will change through these technical skills. And I hope one day we will challenge the companies which are establishing themselves in Karonga that we have the skills, they should not look somewhere. As leaders, let us all remember there can be no meaningful development if youth are denied access to technical and vocational skills. As I said already, let's champion for more technical schools in our Karonga district. Through these skills, we develop our Karonga. And our fellow youth will have something from it. Not only money, but the status of the town will change, the status of our villages will change, and we will not look from other corners of Malawi where we say maybe we should source from Kasungu or Lilong or what. No, we'll source within Karonga town the skills which we need. The other thing is, as I mentioned that we should learn from each other. Let us also invest a lot in agriculture, in our agriculture. In our agriculture, of course, you can get the skill from technical school or from agriculture schools, but sometimes we can learn this from our fellow youth or even our parents, because this time is where there is good income. And through this income, we can come up with better development and we can even establish ourselves in technical schools. As well, looking for the government papers, but we can also do it on our own. We can form an association, come up with a technical school, and help our fellow youths. Fellow youths, let's start dreaming for what we want to become. Let's believe in ourselves, work hard, pray for our dreams, skills, we can build the future we deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sherman. So I've just been informed that Mr. Shema is an aspirant for the position of Member of Parliament. Mr. Shema, is that true?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
So since we have the youth leaders within the House, maybe they might have some questions directed to you, wanting to know what it is that you're trying to bring to them. So I give the floor to the House if they have questions for Mr. Shema.
Madam Speaker, Madam, I would like to ask Mr. Shema, what has inspired him to join politics? Being good is somebody who is successful in business, as he has just introduced it to us. What has inspired him to join politics? Thank you.
Thanks so much. A good question. What has inspired me to join politics? It's a good question. The main reason which has made me to aspire to become an MP of Karonga Town constituency is one, looking at how my fellow friends has handled the development in Karonga. The development of Karonga Town and the development of the youth and other developments. Then I found that, no, I'm here, I can help, I can do something for the community. And I've done already some few things in the community to show that I want indeed to become an MP of the community. I'm really a successful business person. And I even attended to a good school. First, I was working with Maxim Malawi Limited. I resigned as senior manager from Maxim Malawi Limited. I started my own businesses. Before maybe becoming a successful business, I had some few principles which I laid down so that I should be working according to those principles with my business. One was I should educate my children. Then I should become a successful businessman. Lucky enough, God blessed me with 2 kids. One has just concluded his education at Chanko College. He has got a degree now. The other one is at Poly. I'm sharing this story so that at least we should know how things crop up. Now, because I had only 2 children and my business, I focused a lot on only these 2 things. Lucky enough, the education of my kids is going on very well. Then also part of the business was also going on very well, up to a point contractor, distributor of Castel Malawi Limited. which I started in 2016. Now, through these developments which I've gone through, I found it right that I should share with the community through becoming a representative of the area for the parliament. That's how I thought I should help the community. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, my question is, how will he support young youth with vocational training?
Thank you. As I was speaking, I said as if I would become a representative of Karonga Town constituency, I would champion for the establishment of more technical college in this Karonga district. Why? We're lacking these skills in Karonga. I've seen companies bringing skills, people who have got skills from other areas instead of sourcing those skills within Karonga. I believe that even in association or coming up with more sessions like this, sharing ideas, sharing successes will really help us, will really improve our lives. So I also champion for that. And to show, or maybe to give a testimony to that, I'm one of the directors of Youth with Visions, which is Vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, have a question?
Your Honor, I have a question. You went to be an FRA, and in politics we have heard this before. I will do this and that. So my question is, what exactly are you doing right now that will show us that you are the right candidate that will support the youth?
Thank you. To show that I want to help the youth, I've done some developments in primary schools, and I've done some contribution, in fact, to Karonga Diocese, where they are building a hall there. I'm also working hand in hand with the Karonga Girls Sunday School, and recently I've been invited to St. Mary's Girls Secondary School, where we want to deliberate on other issues there, where they lack a hostel, so they want to construct a hostel there. It's one way of helping the youth, so that at least their goals should be met. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable. Yeah.
One of the challenges as youth. So I just want to know you as a politician. How are you going to handle this challenge? As we know that in September you are going to the government. So how are you going to handle with our challenge?
Thank you. My wish, once voted as a member of parliament, is to speak for the youth and even the elderly and other people in the parliament. The youth lack many things, of which I cannot mention because there are many. And I've seen some members of parliament, okay, I've learned from some members of parliament who have participated already in our member of August House, but they have failed to speak for the youth. One of it is the government hires the interns, but at the end of the month you find that they don't support them. Even the payment which they mention that they will give, they don't give at a time, which is not encouraging. So I'll look into that, and I'll talk to the Minister of Youth, even the Minister of Education, that at least they should help the youth, because they are the one who developed Karonga after them. They are the one who developed Malawi after them. Because if the youth, they are not needed now, that means they are getting the Malawi. So our champion for development of technical institutions, at least every district must have a technical institution, that's vocational institutions, whereby at least they should acquire more skills. They should just be staying idle at home, but they should look for schools in these technicals which are champion. And as I mentioned, that coming up with more sessions like this is one way of also encouraging our youth, educating them, encouraging them that they should, they will not be as well be saying that we are the leaders of tomorrow. No, but they are leaders of now and forever. So if we see the youth in this way, that means the youth should be at forefront of all our discussions or deliberations in Parliament and even outside of Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Principal, can you pass the mic to the Principal of Miracle?
Thank you so much. Mine, I wanted to add on the list that the aspiring candidate would take once he goes to Parliament. It is indeed true, as my sister there had put it, that the youth are facing challenges when it comes to industrial internship after they have acquired skills from the technical training institutions. Because the industry is not willing, one, to give them the internship opportunity. At the same time, those that end up employing our graduates, they pay them so low wages. And because of that, other youth are not interested in coming for technical and vocational skills training, because they refer to their friends to say, they went into the skills training, what are they earning? What are they doing now? They can point at literally nothing. And then when our graduates go to the industries, they get the employment, they are paid raise, they end up changing their career. You find that somebody is almost graduating at a technical college, but when there is a vacancy for HSAs, that person will also go for that particular interview. When there is a vacancy for TTC, somebody who is already a graduate from technical college will go to TTC. What is lacking in this industry is that there should be some deliberate policies strategizing the well-being of the youth who graduate from technical institutions. At the same time, maybe there should be a deliberate policy asking the industry providers that they take on board our people from the technical institutions, that they can offer them the internship, and when they are doing their internship, they are also offering their services to those industries. So there are industries that are capitalizing on cheap labor from our people, from the youth that we send for them to do the internship. And then they stop employing experts at their industries. They capitalize on these youth from our institutions. They pay them peanuts. At the end, they don't employ them. If they employ them, they pay them less. Can there be a change for the betterment of our youth? If you get to Parliament and you don't do that, the next time we will not vote for you in Karonga.
Thank you very much, Madam Principal, for that remark. Can I now, Mr. Winga?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. We are so glad that we have got an inspired member here, and he has a lot of questions to answer. Each and every district has its own socio-economic profile. The socio-economic profile looks at the real needs the district needs, and that profile is well discussed, and there are components on the needs of the youth. From my small research, I've realized that maybe our members of parliament, people that we send there, they promise a lot from their head, not really knowing what is really there on at the district level. The socio-economic profile will work maybe for 5 years. It means that's the district plan for 5 years. So you bluntly promise people here that you do this, you do this, which is a good thing because you are promising a good thing, something good to hear from you. So you might find out later that whatever you said they are in your plan, they are not really aligning to the 5 years that you are into power. So you might have, maybe, like you were saying, that you will make sure that technical college, there are more technical college in Karonga, right? It might happen that in the socio-economic program, which is the district plan, that thing is not there yet. How are you trying to collaborate with people from the district when you are still outside? That what is there first? We need to think of what is there first. So what are you trying to contribute there? So what I've really realized with these politicians, what they think can work, but on the ground there are different things. So you could have a good agenda, but that agenda will face a barrier because it's not part of the plan, and there's no discussion between with the plan that I have and the district plan that is there. How can we work together here? So how are you maneuvering in this? And when you are preparing to go into these general elections, how are you working with the district to have that idea? Like what is the district plan for the youth for the next 5 years? Which is working? What are the things that are working? What are the things that are not working? How can you come in between and then bring in new ideas on ideas that are already failing in the district? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. When I was coming up with this idea that I should participate in the coming elections, I looked at all corners which I should satisfy. Not satisfying so that I just become an MP, no. And I've learned from the past. There wasn't any time I saw a member of parliament coming up with youth sessions like this. And there was a time that maybe a member of parliament participating, maybe even in a church where there are SWAFs or CWs, at least just to get some knowledge from the youth how they are suffering in this community. Myself, I said, I think I should be part of the problem and part of the solution. How? One, if I can be elected and become a member of parliament in September, my talk will be to help the youth. to help the youth to have good skills. How? We have got few institutions which offer these skills. It's Miracle and Igala, that's all. And these things, these two institutions, they are for Karonga district, even in Chitipa, Lumpi, we have got students from there. But if you can come up with some more